Good morning, students. Let's start our today's science class. In our last class, we have read about weaving and knitting. In this class, we are going to read about jute fiber and its production. So let's start our today's class.
Hello students, let's start our today's science class. In our last class, we have completed wool and its production. In this class, we are going to read about one more animal fiber, that is silk. So let's know about something silk. Silk is an animal fiber produced by the silkworm. Silk fibers are soft and lustrous. Like animal hair, silk does not conduct heat, thus keeping us warm in winter. It means that silk also traps the body heat and keep us warm in winter. As a bad conductor of heat, it does not allow our body heat to escape to the surroundings and keep our body warm in winters. So really it is one of the great property of silk. So students, silk is a strong, lustrous, soft and fine fiber made up of protein. Silkworms are reared to obtain silk. Let's talk about history of silk. Silk was first developed in ancient China. Silk was discovered in China around 3500 BC, and at that time it became too much popular and too much valuable because of its fine quality and luster. And because of its fine quality and luster, it was mainly used by emperors. It was through trade that silk spread to other parts of the world over a period of time, and due to its fine quality and luster, silk spread to other parts of the world over a period of time through trade. तो व्यापार के माध्यम से सिल्क अपनी फाइन क्वालिटी के कारण पूरे विश्व में, पूरे देश विदेश में फैल चुका था. Silk was an important item of trade during ancient time, and because of its fine quality, at that time silk was a main item, a main thing of trade. Due to this, the ancient trade routes which link China to other part of the world are called Silk Route. Okay, so the Silk Road was a network of trade routes connecting China to other part of the world. So these silk routes are those routes through which merchant they used to carry silk from one part of the world to another part. तो ये सिल्क रूट वो रूट्स थे जिनके जरिए जो व्यापारी थे वो व्यापार करते थे, और ये रूट इतने फेमस थे, मतलब वो रास्ते इतने फेमस थे जिन रास्तों से सिल्क का व्यापार होता था, इसलिए उसे सिल्क रूट का नाम दे दिया गया. सो नाउ सिल्क वॉज प्रोड्यूस्ड इन इंडिया ऑल्सो. तो उस समय सिल्क का प्रोडक्शन इंडिया में भी होता था, मतलब चाइना के बाद सिल्क का प्रोडक्शन इंडिया में भी शुरू हो चुका था. Proof of use of silk during the Indus Valley civilization has also been found. Okay, so use of silk has also been found during Indus Valley civilization, and it means that we have evidences that silk was used during Indus Valley civilization. So this is the history of silk. Now students, one thing you just noted down, it is considered to be, it is means silk is considered to be a symbol of royalty and prosperity, and historically it was mainly used by upper class. So this is about the history of silk. So students, let's talk about life history of silk moth or life cycle of silkworm. The lifespan of silkworm is only about 2 months. The life cycle of a silkworm has 4 stages, and we will discuss all these stages. The female silk moth lays about 200 to 500 golden yellow eggs during summer season. all these eggs are not fertile. In 3 days, the fertile eggs change their color to black and infertile eggs to white. So students, the eggs laid by a female silk moth, that all eggs are not fertile. So, what is the meaning of fertile? Fertile means those eggs which have capability to produce silkworm, and infertile egg means those eggs which do not has capability to produce silkworm. So, within 3 days the fertile eggs change their color to black. तो जो फर्टाइल एग्स होते हैं उनका कलर चेंज हो जाता है और वो ब्लैक कलर में कन्वर्ट हो जाते हैं, और जो इनफर्टाइल एग्स होते हैं उनका कलर वाइट हो जाता है, मतलब गोल्डन येलो से वाइट हो जाता है. सो दिस इज इंडिकेशन, इट मीन्स द चेंजिंग ऑफ कलर ऑफ एग्स शोज दैट विच एग इज फर्टाइल एंड which egg is infertile. Now you have to note down one thing: the silk moth reproduce only once each year. So let's talk about second stage. The eggs hatch and the caterpillars or silkworms emerge. So the eggs hatch, it means that when the eggs hatch, caterpillars or silkworm from eggs comes out. These eggs are provided suitable warmth for hatching, and this is called incubation period. So what is incubation period? Incubation period is a such period which require suitable warmth for hatching eggs. This is called larval stage. The silkworm at this time are about 1/8 of an inch and are extremely hairy. They feed on tender mulberry leaves. This stage lasts for around 27 days, and silkworms shed their skin 4 times to gain smooth skin. The process of shedding the skin is known as molting. So what is molting? Molting means shedding of skin. And why silkworm? They shed their skin 4 times. They shed their skin to gain smooth skin. Let's talk about the third stage of life cycle of a silk moth. The silkworm secretes fine filaments made of protein, a long thin thread-like structure, from the 2 glands on its head, around it in layers to form a cocoon. Okay, it means that silkworm secretes fine filament from 2 glands on its head. So 2 glands are located on its head, and because of these glands, silkworm secretes fine filament. The filaments are made of a protein that hardens to form silk fibers when exposed to air. The silkworm deposits filament in layers around its body through figure of 8 movement of the head, forming a structure called the cocoon. Okay, so it means that it starts weaving a net around it to hold itself. Then it moves its head from one side to another, making a figure 8. During this movement, caterpillars secrete a fiber made of protein. This protein's fiber solidifies and hardens when exposed to air for some time. This is the silk fiber. So it takes 3 to 7 days to prepare a cocoon. Silk threads are obtained from these cocoons. The color of the cocoons varies depending upon what that silkworm eats. It ranges from white to golden yellow. So the color of the cocoons, it depend upon that what silkworm eat, and the color ranges to white to golden yellow. The silkworm traps itself inside a cocoon in order to pupate. Okay, so silkworm traps itself inside a cocoon to become a pupa. The second molting occurs inside the cocoon when the silkworm turns into a brown pupa. What is molting? Molting means shedding of skin. So, the second molting where it takes place inside a cocoon, and during this period silkworm turns into a brown pupa. Let's talk about fourth stage. The pupa changes into a moth which comes out of the cocoon. The female adult again lays egg and the cycle continues. So, in this way, we have completed life history of silk moth. Let's talk about extraction of silk or silk production. Rearing of silkworms for silk production is called sericulture. It is very complex and lengthy process. So let's start our steps. The first step involves washing the silkworm eggs that had been stored over the winter. Under natural conditions, the egg hatch only once a year in spring when the mulberry trees begin to leaf. After the eggs hatch, the larvae are spread out on trays to grow. They are fed chopped mulberry leaves for 20 to 35 days. Racks or twigs means small leaves are placed on the trays where the worms spin the cocoons. Spinning may take about a week, after which the cocoon have to be unraveled. So, spinning means what? Spinning means to convert fiber into yarn, and spinning will take place about a week because cocoon have to be unraveled. So, unravel means to separate threads. तो जो cocoons होते हैं उनके अंदर से threads को या filaments को निकालना पड़ता है. So, now let's see that what is the next process. The cocoons are put in hot water which kills the worm as well as loosens the filament. The filaments are taken out from the cocoons by the process called reeling. So, reeling is a process of separating filaments or fibers from cocoons. Filaments from several cocoons are twisted together to make a strong thread that is wound on a reel. So, twisted means making a number of turn. तो जब भी हम फाइबर्स को ट्विस्ट करते हैं तो फाइबर्स क्या हो जाते हैं, जो उनसे यार्न्स बनते हैं वो बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग होते हैं. सो दैट ट्विस्टेड टुगेदर, इट मीन्स दैट फिलामेंट्स दे आर ट्विस्टेड टुगेदर टू मेक अ स्ट्रॉन्ग थ्रेड दैट इज वाउंड ऑन अ रील. तो उसको रील के ऊपर लपेटते हैं. The threads are then dyed and woven into a silk fabric. So, in this way, silk production take place. Students, note down a very interesting fact that the amount of usable silk in each cocoon is quite small, and about 5,500 silkworms are required to produce about 1 kg of raw silk. That is 2,500 to 3,000 cocoons are needed to make 1 yard of silk cloth. So, let's talk about properties and qualities of silk. The quality of the silk so obtained depend upon various factors, and that factors are the type of silkworm. It means that what kind of silkworm we are choosing for the production of silk, that is also very, very important. For the production of silk, healthiest moths are chosen for breeding and laying eggs. Quality of the mulberry leaves feed to the silkworm. So what kind of mulberry leaves we are using to feed to the silkworm, that is also very important. Selection of cocoons and weaving and finishing of the silk thread. So all these are the essential factor which determines the quality of the silk. Mulberry silk is the main variety of silk produced in India. About 90% of the mulberry silk comes from Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Mulberry silk we obtain from a silkworm known as Bombyx mori. China leads the world in silk production. After China, India is the second largest producer of silk. Different types of silkworm produce different type of silk in term of luster and texture. Silk like Tassar, Munga, Kosa is obtained from different type of silkworms. So let's talk about some important characteristic of the silk fiber. Silk is soft, smooth and lustrous. Silk fiber has a good tensile strength, means it allows it to withstand great pulling pressure. Silk is the strongest natural fiber. Silk absorbs moisture readily. Silk is an elastic fiber and can be stretched from 17 to 1/5 times of its original length, and it returns to its original size. Next we have silk is a protein fiber like wool. It is a non-conductor of heat. So, it is suitable for winter wear. Let's talk about health hazards in wool and silk industry. Health hazard means problems. What problems related to person health? Those who are working in wool and silk industry. In earlier time, the worker who were involved in the sorting process during wool production were often infected by a bacterium called Bacillus anthracis found in wool of contaminated sheep, means infected sheep. This can enter the human body through inhaled air and cause a fatal blood disease called anthrax or sorter disease. But nowadays this disease occurs rarely because of the use of vaccines for prevention. In silk industry, during the rearing process, the dead worms have to be handled. Handling them with bare hands contributes to infection and illness. The workers usually dip their hands in hot water to judge by touch whether the fine threads of silk have loosened enough or not. This causes blisters and injuries leading to infection. Carbon monoxide is produced during rearing, which causes allergy, respiratory problem, irritations, etc. Various chemicals that are used for disinfecting, bleaching and dyeing may cause irritation to the eyes and skin. Continuous exposure to the noise made by machines during the weaving process may result in hearing disorder. So all these are the health hazards in silk industry. Students, that's all for today's class. Now we have completed our chapter number 3. Please make neat and clean notes of chapter number 3 and write all the unsolved question which is given in the chapter. If you have any difficulty regarding question and answers, you just call me or you can write in group also. Thanks for watching this video.